Google search Krakow free CAT mocks. Click on the first link. You can attempt 3 latest CAT mocks in the actual exam interface. After completing the test, you get detailed solutions, analysis, percentile along with your scorecard to gauge your all-India performance. Click on the solution to get video solutions from our expert faculty.
Hello everyone, welcome to Krakow video series. So in today's video, we will discuss the detailed admission criteria of top 3 IIMs, IIM Ahmedabad, IIM Bangalore and IIM Calcutta. So now let us start with the admission criteria of IIM Calcutta and also let us look at how to get into it. Indian Institute of Management Calcutta is one of the top B schools in India and also desirable college for many MBA aspirants. IIM Calcutta adopted two-stage selection process. Now let us see the admission criteria and stages in selection process in detail. As I mentioned before, the IIM Calcutta has 2 stages in admission process for MBA program. So these are the 2 stages. The first stage is basic CAT score requirement and the second stage is final selection. The first step towards getting admission into IIM Calcutta is taking common admission test CAT exam. Here are the basic CAT score requirements for different categories. For open category, the aggregate percentile is greater than or equal to 85 percentile. So these are the sectional wise CAT score requirements. For non-creamy layer OBC category, the aggregate percentile is greater than or equal to 75. For EWS category, the CAT score requirement is greater than or equal to 75. For SC category, the CAT score requirement is greater than or equal to 70 percentile. For ST category, the CAT score requirement is greater than or equal to 65 percentile. For PWD category, the CAT score requirement is greater than or equal to 55 percentile. So this is about the basic CAT score requirement for IIM Calcutta. So in stage 1, so these are the components with weights to shortlist for personal interview. From the candidates satisfying the criteria of CAT cutoffs, shortlisted candidates will be called for personal interview based on the composite score derived using the components and the corresponding weight specified in this table. Earlier, weightage was given to your graduation score as well, but due to the disruptions caused by the COVID pandemics, weight for undergraduation has been removed from the selection criteria. So let us see the weights. The weight for the CAT score is 56. The weight for the class 10th marks is 10. The weight for the 12th marks is 15. The gender diversity factor is 4. Overall weightage is 85 in stage 1. Based on the marks secured in 10th and 12th, the points will be awarded to the candidate. If the candidate percentage in 10th is greater than or equal to 80%, then the candidate will be awarded with 10 points. For the percentage of 75 to 80, the points will be 8. From the percentage of 70 to 75, the points will be 6. From the percentage of 65 to 70, the points are 4. From the percentage of 60 to 65, the points are 2. And the percentage is below 60, then the points will be 0. For 12th marks, if the candidate secured 80%, then 15 points will be awarded. If the percentage is from 75 to 80, then the points will be 12. If the percentage is from 70 to 75, then the points will be 9. If the percentage is below 60 in 12th marks, no points will be awarded. Here is the final selection stage. The candidates get shortlisted under these parameters with their corresponding weights mentioned in this table. So these are the parameters. For the CAT score, the weight is 30. For the personal interview, the weight is 48. For academic diversity at bachelor's level for non-engineering degree, the weight is 4. If we look at the parameter of work experience, the points will be awarded based on the work experience. So up to 3 years, the points for work experience keeps increasing, but if you have work experience beyond 3 years, you will get lesser and lesser points. This is another uniqueness of IIM Calcutta. For most of the IIMs, the points given remains the same for work experience beyond 3 years. So this is about the selection process in IIM Calcutta. Now let's move on to the admission criteria of IIM Bangalore and also let us look at how to get into it. Indian Institute of Management Bangalore is one of the top B schools in India and also the most desirable college for many MBA aspirants. The first step towards getting admission in the IIM Bangalore is taking the common admission test CAT. In the admission process of IIM Bangalore, there will be 2 stages to get selected. The first stage is eligibility criteria for VAT and personal interview, and the second stage is final selection criteria. Let us see them in detail. So this is the basic CAT score requirement in category wise. For general category, the overall percentile required is 85 percentile. So these are the sectional wise CAT score requirements. Similarly, for non-creamy layer OBC, the overall percentile is 75. These are the sectional wise score requirements. Similarly, for EWS category, overall percentile is 75. Similarly, for all the categories, these are the overall basic CAT score requirements. So this is the stage 1 selection criteria for VAT and personal interview. So these are the components in the stage 1 selection criteria. Here you can see the weight for the academics, including 10th, 12th and graduation marks. They gave 50% of weightage to your academics. By this, you can understand that the probability to get call from IIM Bangalore will decrease if not perform well in your academics. Even if you have a great score in CAT, because the weight for CAT score is given only 40 points. In IIM Bangalore, while scaling the marks for your academics, they will use a standardization formula. So this is the formula. Don't have to worry about this formula. This is the formula used to relatively scale the scores. For example, if a person got 85% from state board, and also if a person got 85% from CBSE board, they will integrate the scores of the past 2 years of the candidate and they scale it accordingly. Coming to the work experience, this is the weight they allotted for work experience, 8 points. If you have 3 years or above of work experience, then you will get 8 points. Apart from this, the candidates can get a direct interview call if they were on top 10 in any of the component like CAT score, bachelor score in the streams of commerce, arts and science disciplines, etc. And also professional courses like CA, ICWA and CS. And the final one is gender diversity. The weight for the gender diversity is 2 points. The overall weight in this stage 1 selection criteria is 100. So let us see the second stage. This is the final selection criteria in IIM Bangalore. Even this stage is also little difficult because even in this final selection criteria, they will consider the academic scores unlike the other institutes. Here you can see that they allotted 25% of weight for your academic scores. For the CAT score, the weight is 25 points. For the personal interview, the weightage is 30 points. And for the written ability test, the weightage is 10 points. Coming to the work experience, the weightage is 10 points. Here the points for the work experience are given based on 5-point multiplier. These are the points 0.25, 0.5, 1, 1.5 and 2. So these are the points used to scale the quality of work experience. So let us say if you have 12 months of work experience, then using this formula 8 into 12 by 36, then you will get 8 by 3. Based on your quality of work experience, the points will get multiplied with this result. Usually the multiplier is 0.5. If you performed well in your work, then the quality score can be increased to 1. So that means 8 by 3 into 1. If you perform more than that, then the quality points can be increased to 1.5, and very rare possibility to get multiplied with 2. And one more thing you have to remember, don't worry about the selection criteria, because there was one candidate selected who have not so good academics. Mention the selection criteria to get a rough idea about the admission process based on their official website. So considering these all components, the candidates will be selected for the final shortlist. So this is what the admission criteria and the process of selection in Indian Institute of Management, Bangalore. And finally, let us see the admission criteria of IIM Ahmedabad. And also let us look at how to get into it. Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad. This is the dream destination for many MBA aspirants. The selection process in this institute is little complex compared to the other institutes. Let us see the selection process in detail. So these are the stages in selection process of IIM Ahmedabad. The first stage is shortlisting for analytical writing test and personal interview. And the second stage is the final selection. Let us see both the stages in detail. So this is the basic CAT score requirement for the selection criteria in IIM Ahmedabad. You can see the category wise CAT score requirement, and these are the sectional wise score requirements, and this is the overall percentile rank. For general category, the overall percentile rank is 80, and these are the sectional wise CAT score requirements. For non-creamy layer OBC come transgenders, the overall percentile is 75. For SC category, the overall percentile is 70. Similarly for all the categories, so these are the overall percentile CAT score requirement. So this is the stage 1 selection criteria. You can see here that the high priority is given to the CAT score, as they gave the weight of 65. If you perform well in the CAT, there will be high chance to get call from IIM Ahmedabad. So coming to the 10th, 12th and graduation scores, they gave the weight of 10 for each, and they gave weight of 5 points for the work experience of more than 3 years. Let us see how they come up with these points. They will consider a term called application rating score with 35 points. So these are the 35 points. Here the A refers to the score of 10th marks, and B refers to the score of 12th, and C refers to the score of graduation, and D refers to the score of work experience. Now let us see the first one, that is the rating score of your 10th marks. As you can see, these are the ranges of your 10th percentage, and these are the points given for the corresponding percentages. If you got above 90 percentage, then you can get 10 points. Similarly for all the percentages, so these are the corresponding points. Now let us see the second one, that is the rating score of 12th in different streams like science, commerce, and arts or humanities. So these are the range of percentages, and these are the points corresponding to the percentages. Similarly for the all streams. Let us see the third one, that is the rating score for graduation, and all the streams in graduation are categorized in the term of AC. AC stands for academic category. If you have done your graduation in the stream of MBBS, then you come under the category of AC1. So these are the percentages, and these are the corresponding rating score. If you've done your graduation in the stream of CA or CS, then you come under the category of AC2. So these are the percentages and the points. If you have done your graduation in the stream of BBM, Commerce, Finance, then you come under the category of AC3. These are the range of percentages, and these are the points. If you have done your graduation in the stream of Engineering, then you come under the category of AC 4 and 6. So these are the range of percentages and corresponding points. If you have done your graduation in the stream of Arts and Humanities, then you come under the category of AC 5. So these are the percentages, and these are the corresponding points. So these are the rating scores given for the work experience D. So if you have less than 12 months of work experience, then your rating score is 0. If you have work experience more than 36 months, that is more than 3 years, then your rating score of work experience is 5, and this is the calculation used to give the rating score for candidates having work experience between 12 to 36 months. As I mentioned before, application rating score of your 10th, 12th, graduation, and your work experience is 35. Now the rating scores from each of the terms A, B, C, and D are added, and the AR is calculated. Also, they don't give the score directly, they relatively scale it. The normalized AR score of an application is equal to AR score divided by the average of top 50 AR scores from the applicant's pool. So this is the calculation for AR score rating. Now if we look at the stage 1 calls, that is for shortlisting the candidates to the personal interview. In IIM Ahmedabad, the stage 1 calls are made in 2 ways. That means the candidate who excelled in their academics from various academic categories, which we have discussed before, again subdivided by the categories of general, SC, ST, and so on, and they will select the top 5%. For every academic category, this subdivision continues, and they will select 5% from each of the category, and also the selected candidates have to fulfill the criteria called C1 to C3. If the selected candidate does not reach this criteria, then they go under the second way of selection, which is based on their composite scores. 65% of weightage is given for CAT score, 35% of weightage is given for your application rating score. And of course, the candidates selected in the second way of selection, they have to fulfill the criteria called C1 to C2. We have seen the criteria. So what are the C1, C2, and C3? Here C1 refers to the candidates selected under this criteria. Then that candidate has to meet the CAT overall and sectional cutoffs. And C2 refers to the candidates who are selected under C2 criteria. Then the average of 10th and 12th marks of candidate must be above than given below cutoffs for different categories. So here you can see, so these are the streams in 12th, and these are the various categories. For example, if you are in the stream of science and you are belonging to the general category, then you must have about 80% in your 12th. Similarly for all the categories. And finally, the C3 refers to the candidates who are selected under C3 criteria must have 80% in their bachelor's examination in various categories like general, OBC, SC, ST, etc. And finally, this is the second stage of selection process in IIM Ahmedabad. As you can see, the weightage for the CAT score is only 25 points in this final selection criteria. And the best thing is the weightage of 50 points, which is maximum weightage that is given for the personal interview. If you perform very well in the personal interview, you can score 50% in the final stage of selection process. And for the analytical writing test, the weightage given 10 points. And for the application rating, the weight is 15 points. If you can see, they did not mention the academics in the components of this final selection process. So this is all about the admission criteria in Indian Institute of Management Ahmedabad. So thank you so much guys, and all the best.